Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. It's Free Pattern Friday, and I'm Brenda, and I am so happy to bring you this cute little block I'm calling Taffy Pull, or Taffy Pull. My grandchildren had been around recently, and you know how kids love candy. Well, I decided I was going to make this block just for them, and it's, you know, all different colors. It's a great scrap buster for your 2.5 inch strips. So, but before we go any further, you got to go check out Martha's channel, From Martha's Creative Life. Now, her YouTube link is going to be in the show notes below, and it's wonderful what she's doing over there, and she's just starting out. So if you like what you see, go tell her Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you, and you know, give her a surprise shout out to her, because she doesn't know this one's coming. So the other thing you're going to find in the show notes is our Facebook group. We are making use of the virtual sewing rooms. We're sharing ideas and pictures and asking for help and getting answers and all that fun stuff, all the stuff on building a community. They're also running organizing fabric swaps. So if you want in on something like that, they do them by country to save on postage. But I mean, those women that have organized those fabric swaps, thank you so much. It has been amazing that you guys have stepped up and have done that, because I simply didn't have the time to go do something like that, and the ladies are having a wonderful time doing it. Now, the other thing you're going to find in the show notes below is our Zoom link. Now, from now until the end of next year, or whenever, or the end of this year, you're going to find what dates we're having our Zoom sew dates. So if you're not part of the Facebook world, then at least you can come on to our Zoom sew dates, and we have ladies coming from all over the planet. It is wonderful. So share, like, subscribe. We cannot tell you how important it is that you share, like, and subscribe. And tell your friends about us, too. Tell your gills about me, because I'm doing free speaking engagements, and I'm promoting the idea of making charity quilts, right? So the community service people and the gills really like this, too, right? Because I provide patterns to use up your scraps to give for charity, or to make charity things. So, without further ado, let's get to the sewing. Okay, we're at the sewing machine, and I lined these little squares up so that you would get the aesthetic of this, what this block's going to look like. You need 24 1.5 inch squares for this block, but it's worth it. It is such a cute block for little ones. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line these up, and basically I'm going to make little flying geese out of them. We're going to do the hardest part first, which isn't hard. I mean, we always say, oh, we're doing the hardest part first. Yeah, we're doing the hardest part first. Yeah, it's not really that tough, but hey, you know, you do the small fiddly stuff first in a block wherever you can, and it just makes everything else go easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first make my little flying geese, and yeah, this block I think would look absolutely great as, you know, one block the candies go this way and the next block they go that way. Just to, you know, you would set up a fun, modern kind of a vibe for this pattern, but I only had, and it is a good scrap buster. People have been asking for 2.5 inch, that use up 2.5 inch colors, jelly roll colors. So I'm, you know, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. And the last one through for this. Now, okay. Now you can sew them all the same way. They're all going to line up the same way. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the colors now and run them through. I can eyeball like a 1.5 inch square as to where that line is, and you just want to sew, you know, from point to point. Now I know not everybody's comfortable with that, I get that, but there's a cheat. Yes, there's a cheat. There's always a cheat. You always examine where before you cut, and that way you don't have very much to pull out. Like for 1.5 inch square, by the time you do a bunch of these, you're going to be very good at going across a 1.5 inch square. Let me tell you that right now. And I found some really cute, I like this teal and the blue and the red. I thought, okay, let's have some fun with this. Okay, now let's get some of these here. Get these off. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to check it to make sure I've got coverage, right? And then I just snip off the back because I'm good. I'm golden. And this goes into the pet bed supply. This is pet bed material now. It's too small for me to sew into anything. And, well, I mean, other than a pet bed. I guess there's those confetti quilts, or not confetti quilts, but what they do is they have they put all these tiny little bits and bobs onto a piece of fabric, and then they put netting over top, and they make landscape scenes. And it's called, I think it's called confetti landscapes. I'm not sure. I should investigate that a little bit. Maybe say, goodness knows I'd have enough confetti small pieces to do something with. There we go. That one was good too. So we just cut these. Just trim them off like that. Yeah, we do 24 of them. Ugh. There we go. All right. And good coverage. Yes, I do. That's all you need is good coverage. You know, so you're not going to lose the block, right? Okay. Yeah. Now I decided with this, it would probably look better with one larger piece of fabric, like low volume fabric, just because it's a little, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, there. Okay, let's get these off because we gotta sew them next. Oh, there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This has been a hectic household here. Oh my goodness. Hate to tell you all the stuff that's been going on. It's been busy. It has been very busy. A lot of fun, but busy. Which is, I'm glad to report, it's happy. It's happy fun. It's not a sad fun. Okay. Alrighty. Get this one on next. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. With trying to visit grandchildren and, you know, have good visits with them, and the middle grandchild is having their birthday here pretty quick. I gotta figure out what we're doing for him, and yeah, it's been busy. It's been good but busy. Yeah, it's and the speaking engagements I've been on have just been wonderful. I have met so many lovely people. I am just so blessed when it comes to that kind of stuff. Oh, I should probably go this way. There we go. There. Yeah. Okay, let's just check this before we sew in the next square. Yes, we have coverage. Excellent. These don't take long. They're just fiddly, right? That's the issue most people have with this, is, oh, this block is so fiddly. Yes, it's fiddly, but it's cute. Now this would make a perfect leader ender project, right? Because you know, you're not sitting there. You don't have to concentrate much to snowball a corner, right? And basically that's what you're doing. You're snowballing 4 corners on a long strip, and you're snowballing 2 corners on a short strip. It's real simple. right? Oops, here we go. Yeah. Oh, we're also working on that psychedelic snowflake when we're filming this. I'm not sure when this will drop first or the snowflake block will drop first. But yeah, we've been working on that, and we decided we're gonna have some fun with it. I like the idea of a real modern take on that block. You know, just to give it its own little thing. There we go. And last one for the green or teal or whatever this color is. And then we'll put it all back together for you. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I decided I was going to change the scale of it to make it, you know, a rather unexpected color. But, oops, there we go. Get the last. Oh, we're almost at the last one. I stopped and kind of freaked out. Did I cut enough? Because if I didn't, I have to go digging. Oh, I cut enough. And last up, last block. And there we go. Yeah, these would be perfect as a leader ender. Because, you know, all that snowballing, you know, you could just sit there and, you know, have a little bag of 1.5 inch squares and a whole bunch of these and sit there and snowball. And if you're doing the low volume scrappy, this would work beautifully. Okay, let's lay this back out. Oh, we've got some of these we've got to cut off too. Oops, hang on. We forgot to trim these. Yeah. Okay, here we go. And check that one. Yes, we're good. Yeah, baby flying geese are fun. I know. I have a strange idea of fun, don't I? Most people like the big scale, you know, the bigger scale. You could probably change the scale of this and get a really effective block with this idea too. You know, make the candies a little shorter but go wider. You know, it would be cute. Okay. Can you see all of this? I hope you can see all of this. All right. All right, let me get there. Okay, the hardest part about this block is, I'll just get this off here, and I'll get the last one, is putting all of this together. Okay, so this goes here, these two go at the ends, and they point in. So the tips of these are pointing into each other. Okay, just like so. There we go. Alright, and the pet bed material goes into the bag. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like so far, right? Now, there's different ways you can attack this. You could sew this part first, right, and make all your ends. Let me just change my foot to a good 1/4 inch foot. So I bought a 1/4 inch foot off Amazon for this machine for slants. It's just a universal slant shank 1/4 inch foot. I can't even tell you where I got it, and it makes a perfect 1/4 inch. So what I do with this is I would sew the extra piece on the bottom first. I would do that first. And the reason I'm doing that first is then I know the bottom of the goose is now in the right spot. So the only option now is to, you know, and they're littler pieces, smaller piecing, right? So you want to make that a little bit bigger. There. Okay. And just like that. Okay. There. So your piecing is going to be just like that. So then we're going to lay that back. Okay. Now we haven't had to worry about points yet or anything. And really, you know, these are wrapped candies. They're symbolizing wrapped candies. And I mean, wrapped candies, sometimes they look a little odd. But that's okay. That's okay. These would be cute in a Halloween quilt too. If you had made them like with Halloween fabric. Or you can make them with Christmas fabric. Hang on. Kids like candy any time of year. And I'm just going to run that through again. Little plug. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Mom's machine sounds so much nicer than the other one. I like the other one, but this one just so nice. Okay, there we go. Now, so we're going to sew the toffee in. Now, you can sit there and pin your points because you want to try and match your points, but, you know, don't be too hard on yourself when you're doing these, right? You could sit there, okay, the bottom of the X, you just want to cross right under the bottom of the X and go right under the bottom of this X to line up where your point is, right? And you push them close tight together and then you pin them, right? As you're running them through. You could do that. I mean, you're gonna, here, I'll just show you. Okay, let me see, there we go. Get this out. And that's probably the way to do it. See, you're still going to have little white bits, but that's okay. That's okay. You can just wing it too, you know? Like, the quilting is supposed to be about fun, not pressure. And I think we spend too much time being hard on ourselves. I mean, you're aiming for the point, but if you miss, you know, I can take that apart, or I can resew it and try to get a little closer. I mean, I'm going to opt to resew it and get a little closer to that line because I can do that. That's okay. It's all right for me to do that. There we go. There. And if you only make 1 point out of 2, that's okay. But you can pin them if you want. Okay. All right. Just put them back in the right order. So you have to put the right end. See, now that point looks a lot better, right? And all I did was resew it. Like, you don't have to, you know, drive yourself crazy trying to match up all these points. It can be a design element. Oh, oops, okay. There we go. There. And you just want to kind of line them up. I'm hoping for the best because I think this is, you don't, what finished is better than a UFO, right? That's the other thing too. People are too hard on themselves about their UFOs. And you don't have to be. There we go. And last one. Okay, here. Oops. Now, because the points on this block are lying together, there is a bump. There is a little bump right there. You know, right? You can feel it. Now, you can either press this open to reduce the fabric. Basically, you're redistributing the fabric if you press open, just to just to get the seam to lie flatter. And because if you press it to one side or the other, what inevitably is going to happen is you're going to have a bump. So I would suggest that you just press open just like that. Doesn't take long to do. Oops. Let's get this just, and I'm just running it across the back of my finger. All right, and the last one, there. Yeah, and all that's going to do is just to make it lay just that hair width flatter, because you are putting point to point. There's a lot of material right there, right in that point. So, yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. It'll look wonderful when it's all sewn together. Okay, so these all measure 12.5 now, right? 12.5 long. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, now I'm going to, with all the ones with all the seams, because I have a couple of seams that need to lie open and some that need to be pressed to the side. So I'm going to try and make sure everything stays open if it needs to be open. So I'm going to sew it with the seams showing. Okay. Oh. There we go. And that needs to stay open. There we go. Now, we're just going to keep doing the same thing. Keep racing along. Oops. Okay, there we go. Now I match the top and I match the bottom of the edge of the block, and then I hold open what needs to be open, and I kind of lay flat what needs to be laid flat. There we go. Now if your blocks are really out, you have a cheat room, like if this ends up, this candy part ends up being too long, you do have a little bit of cheat to, you know, trim off if need be. It's preferable that you don't have to trim and everything works out great, because then that means your 1/4 inch is okay. But this is there's blocks that are forgiving and there are blocks that are not. And what you need is blocks that are forgiving. We need more forgiving blocks. That's what we need. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now, okay, I'm just going to pull this back. Oh, get my little plug off. Okay, so this gets pressed open. Just open it like that. Just, you know, fold over, because this has got too many seams in it to want to be, you know, so you're going to basically press it open, and you're going to lay it out back on the board just like so, right? And then you're going to press this one the same way. Basically, you're using the little strips in between to hold all your seams, right? So then you put, and I'll show you what this, put this in here. Hang on. Okay. Now you would take this to the ironing board and iron and all this stuff. I'm trying to do this so that it's faster for you. You know, you don't have to watch all this ironing and pressing. I mean, you know how to iron. So this is what it looks like. Now we're going to take this and we're going to flip it like that. Now I want to see, because I have seams on this side that need to stay open. Okay, I'm just going to line up the top really nice. Yes, it does. Lines up great. And line up the bottom. Okay, there we go. There, nice. Okay. And the last two, right? Get like this, and we hold it up like that. And we line up the top. Now I am going to press this to the solid, or the low volume, just because it's going to lie flatter. And I'm going to put it on the board just like that, right? So we've only got one seam left after this seam, so it did come together quickly. And there. And all of this stuff, I will say, the colored bits came out of my crumbs, because my crumbs are hand size. And all of the white came out of my, the white came out of my scraps because it was less than a fat quarter. So if you're wondering how much yardage, well, now you know, right? Yep. Okay. So this gets pressed this way. And now, whatever you do, don't do this. Sew it with the skinny seam together. Ask me how I know. How I know not to do that. I'm just going to move this board right out of the way. Hang on. There we go. Now I'm going to take my time and line up the top. Okay. There. Okay. Okay, now we're further enough along. Okay, just hold it over. Yeah. Now, where's my little plug? Because I don't have a leader in the project now. I don't, maybe I should have cut one. Okay, so now this gets pressed to the low volume. And now you would take this to your cutting mat, you'd iron it all flat, making sure these points here lie as flat as you can, because that's where the points are on the Flying Goose and the top of the candy. So you'd want to make sure that they lie as flat as they can. And now you can see too, you have wiggle room. If you take this to your cutting table and you go, wow, I'm just a little bit too big, or, you know, hopefully it's a little bit too big, you can cut it down to 12.5 inch. So you'd have a 12-inch finished block. But let's get to our big ta-da moment, because this baby is done. Okay, so here is our block Taffy Pull. Isn't this cute? I know it's a lot of fiddly little bits, and yes, there's 24 little half square, you know, like 24 1.5 inch squares. I had to think about what I wrote down for the pattern. But, I mean, it is cute. Now, I think this would look great on a quilt if it went one this way, and then the next one this way, and then the next one this way. I think it would just create a really cute little graphic for some child. Or, you know, like you could put this in Halloween colors and make it like for the taffy or the candy that's given out at Halloween. Or Christmas, if you prefer. Like I say, I don't limit the sugar I give my grandkids behind their parents' back, but I don't have to worry about it either, right? I can send them home. This is just a cute little block. I do hope you give this one a try. And it does use up your 2.5 inch strips of color, so you could make this any color you want, right? So, I mean, this was a lot of fun to make. So, until we meet again, I hope you absolutely have an amazing week ahead, and, you know, things go right for you. So, you take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would love to thank you for all of the amazing people that we have met along this crazy YouTube adventure that we've been having. We do free speaking engagements too, so if you're part of a guild and they're looking for, you know, people to talk and, you know, and chat with, you know, in their monthly meetings, tell them that I'm doing free ones just to help the guilds out, because it's been a tough time for the guilds as well. you know, share, like, and subscribe with your friends. You know, make sure that they're, you know, they get the word out on us. That's, I mean, that's the best way you can do to help us out. So until we meet again, I want to thank you. Okay, goodbye.